Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with the new improved Max and Brandy, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Max's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Brandy is using a 6-foot web training leash, and she keeps the bulk of the leash folded in her right hand. That leaves her left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. He's going to come home with his very own training equipment, and Rich is going to be showing you tomorrow how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now Max is sitting very nicely at Brandy's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that they're going to demonstrate for us is heeling. Heeling is proper walking on a leash, and the command is Max heel. Now what Max has learned during his heeling exercises is that he is to match pace with you when you're walking. He's not to be dragging you down the street. He should stay more focused on you so you can talk to him when you're walking with him. And each time that you stop your feet, he's been taught to sit and wait for his next command. So when you're walking down the street with him and you stop to cross traffic or talk to a friend, he should be sitting nicely and waiting for his next command. If he's not sitting, you tell him no. You give him that little tug that we were talking about, and you have him do it, because he's a tester. And if you don't live up to his tests, then he's beat you again. And he can be a typical Schnauzer in that he can be very, very, very tough and hard-headed. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and we do not use his name. It is the one-word command to stay. Now, because he is a puppy, you're going to work up on this command from about 30 seconds to 3 minutes, about 5 seconds a day. When Brandy returns back to him, she walks all the way around him, and he remains seated until he gets his next command. And remember, with those stationary commands, the sit, stay, and the down, stay, they are commands that help with focus and self-control. Two things which Max had very little of when he got here, and he is trying very hard to have more self-control now. Just for future reference, he was excellent for Brandy on the grooming table, so you can thank Brandy for the new do. She's giving him a little treat to let him know that she's happy with him. She's going to leave him in another sit-stay, and she's going to demonstrate the come on command. This is a command where you do use his name and a happy voice, and he should come right in front, but he's supposed to be sitting. So she took a step in just to get him to sit, and then she praises him for a good job. And actually, when he's off-leash playing in the yard, he comes, it's this on-leash come command that he's a little bit worried about, and I'm not quite sure why, but Brandy's giving him a lot of good positive verbal reinforcement, and she did give him a treat. So we walk a fine line with puppies, because especially like a Schnauzer, they're tough dogs, but he's a puppy. So sometimes we have to be tough, but we also want to be loving and kind, and we want the dog to enjoy the training process. So it's a very fine line that we walk. Now the next commands that we're going to be demonstrating for you are the harder commands, and these are the down commands. So this is the first one, is your down from a heel position. So with Max seated at your left, you use your left open palm straight down toward the ground, and the one-word command to down and stay. Your long down stay when you're practicing at home, and you can practice right in your living room. Start out at about 45 seconds and work up to 5 minutes. When Brandy returns back to him, she walks all the way around him, just as she did on the sit-stay, and he remains lying there until he gets his next command. She heels him out of it, and she brings him back around into the sunshine. It's a cold day today. She has him sit. Always have him seated first. Do not attempt to put him into a down from a standing position. Left open palm straight down toward the ground, and the command to down. Doesn't do it happily, but he's doing it. Very, very, very good job. Good boy, Max. Good boy, bud.
No, sit.
Now you have to enforce it. So she just took a step in and told him no sit. And he did it because he recognizes that when you're standing over him that you're dominant. Now the last command that we're going to be demonstrating for you is the hardest one. I don't know why we saved this till last. It is your down from a distance. So Brandy's going to leave him in a sit stay. She's going to turn to face him. She's not going to go very far, and you're going to be able to lengthen out your distance as you move forward. She's going to use her right hand to give the command, and he goes down from a distance. Now she gave him a little correction because he was taking his sweet time. I think he would eventually have gotten there. And that is your down from a distance. Now we have demonstrated for you all of Max's formal on-leash obedience commands. Yay, Max! He's going to get a little treat for being such a good boy and doing such a great video. He has been a little bit of a challenge, but he's really come around, and I think you're going to be really pleased with his progress. We've enjoyed having him. I know he's ready to come home. We want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.